And we're back, which I understand your exhaustion, because it's all I feel being this way. But that's my intro for today. Um, Welcome back, everyone who is tuning in now or watches this sometime in the future. Um, Bless your soul if you did find this and enjoy it, because I don't know how anyone enjoys this. No, I'm just kidding. I love this. Um, so, we'll recap last time. Last time you guys finished your work in the city of Rapture, clearing out the ravaged queen and her produced minions, and saving the town from the inevitable death that they all would have experienced if no one had gone in and done what you guys had done. Um, and you had met a interesting individual by the name of Incarus, who led you guys back to the city of Mirage to in the hopes that you would join his crew for a death race type thing. Yes, that's how I'm gonna word it. Um, Within the deserts around the city of Mirage. Um, you guys were introduced to his mechanic as well, a half orc by the name of Zimmel, and were given rooms that you were able to stay the night in, uh, regardless if you were going to join his team or not. Um, so we'll start off with the following morning of you guys arriving. Um, you are all awoken by the sound of a small explosion in the lower levels of the building, followed by several loud shouts and angry kind of arguing as you guys are stirring from being asleep. Would you like to?
Journey's she likes sleeping in, so she just turns over in bed and pulls the pillow over the back of her head, trying to block out the sound.
How close to my door is it?
The explosion?
The sounds.
They are downstairs. You guys are upstairs. So it's like
Okay.
muffled. It's very muffled. It's loud enough that you can hear it, but it's not loud enough to be understood.
Yeah, Magnus is just gonna immediately walk out.
Okay. What about Andraka?
Yeah, I was able to hear that. I will still sleep.
Okay. Um, so Magnus, you're the only one who goes down. Going down, doing a little bit of investigating, you find Incarus and Zimmel are within the garage space that you had originally entered the building in the day before. Bit of smoke in the room. He's one of the doors looks to have been recently opened to kind of let the smoke out, and you see behind this large tarp that has kind of partially been taken down, this large vehicle that kind of takes on the shape of a cobra's head. Is the design of it, and the front of it seems to be smoking, and there are bits and pieces scattered about in front of this, and you can see Incarus looking, kind of evaluating the damage from within. They haven't noticed that you've entered, though. And you do also notice Incarus uh, has a bit of soot covering his face and chest as well from whatever had happened.
I'm surprised anyone has so much care for something that is so gaudy.
Incarus glances over at you and just says, "Well, good morning to you too." Kind of grabs a rag from off a side table and starts wiping the soot off his face, and turns to Zimmel and just says, "See what you can scavenge from this. We have 2 weeks to fix this before we're gonna need her." And he'll turn to you, just says, "Are the others awake, or is it just you?"
No, just me.
I see.
I I need. It may be an odd request. I need a kind of harpoon-like object.
I could see what I could find. Um, I'm assuming you're wanting this for the race, correct?
It'll be good for that.
I'll do some asking around, see if I can find anything that might fit you. Um,
Hmm.
though whenever the others are ready, I do have a task that I might uh, ask of you guys today. Um, because of the little incident that has occurred this morning, I need a new part. And I know of a few places to get it, but well, if I could send you all to do it, and I can get some other things done as well, and fix this cart a lot quicker.
We're using the other one for your little race, correct?
He gestures back to the one that has been smoking. He says, "That's the one that we use. But it seems some of the parts that we had gotten had been tampered with in advance. Someone's trying to sabotage me again. I'm not surprised."
Are you sure it was just someone of better taste?
He kind of raises an eyebrow a little bit and just says, "I'm sure it's another team who has different taste."
Hmm. I don't understand why the others refuse to wake up from from the sounds that have happened. For those who live more dangerous lives, that's basically a alarm clock. What is there to do in town while I wait for the more sluggish ones to find their own?
Well, there's plenty of shops, uh, taverns, bars, other places to partake in certain activities. It's a big city. Uh, I would just recommend not wandering uh, too far to the east. Not alone, at least. I know you are capable, but we don't need you getting into any trouble early on.
Hmm. When you say that you have to scavenge items from that vehicle, does that mean it's a complete deconstruction?
No, it's just the mechanism that uh, controls it. The engine, the motor,
Hmm.
whatever some call it. Um, it has to be. Uh, parts are going to need to be pulled out and replaced from the damage that the bit of explosion caused. It's easy fix. Some of the parts will be a little more difficult to find, but as long as we can get uh, a arcane cell for it, we will be fine within the week.
Where am I to find the cell?
Well, the three places that I know of, one of the other teams has it. Um, if you all wanted to try to steal it from them, I would ask to be quiet about it, or at least do it at a time that there's not many of them there. Um, you can also get one from one of the uh, black markets around here. Um, but it is quite pricey, and I can only offer so much to help pay for the sell. But we would make that money back once if we win the race. And you could get one from the junkyard to the east as well, but uh, there is a beast that protects that place.
Would there be replacements or a delay in the race if one of the teams disappeared?
People would be suspicious.
Personal disputes happen all the time.
Yes. There is a chance, too, that if we were to be the ones who got blamed for said thing, well, it may be hard to even get to the race with so many people being out for our heads. This is a cutthroat town, and this sport is very cutthroat, especially outside of racing.
How boring. Where's the junkyard?
To the east. I would recommend getting the others to help you. There's something that protects that place. I've not had the chance of seeing it myself, mainly because I don't go to that place. I usually send others to try to scavenge anything if ever needed, which is rare, but I've sent a few.
Fine. And Magnus just goes back up to the rooms, and he's gonna go back into the room with Andraka first.
You mean the roof?
Oh,
Well, if you were doing
Andraka.
that, I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw for me.
Well, what is the outside world but a giant room?
15.
Okay. Andraka, you wake up a bit rigid due to the colder night that the desert had. As it's about, we're probably midway through fall right now, so the temperatures are starting to drop significantly in certain places. And I don't know about you guys, but the desert gets cold as shit at night. And especially for a reptile who doesn't keep their own body heat. But you don't experience any kind of debuffs from it. You are just a little rigid getting up, and the sun. It takes you a minute to actually be able to start moving around due to having to warm up using the sun. But Magnus, you go down to the. You're gonna go find the girls' room.
Yeah.
Where Trinket and Journey are resting. Okay. So you open the door to the room. Trinket is mostly awake. By this point, she's kind of dangling legs off the side of the bed, kind of trying to put herself together for the morning. Looks like she might have not slept the best. Journey is still laying in bed with a pillow over her head.
We have work.
Trin kind of smacks her lips and kind of like dryly kind of looks over at you and she says, what kind of work?
We need to retrieve a vehicle part.
She goes for one of her the canteen that she has, and starts drinking. Journey, are you doing anything? Is he speaking to you?
Kind of gradually waking up. You know, my main reason for getting up past few months was, tending after dusk and she's gone. So, kind of hard to motivate myself to get out of bed. Eventually, we'll take the pillow, throw it in the general direction of the doorway.
Roll an attack
Kinda-
roll. It's not going to do
Attack.
damage, but I just want you to roll an attack roll to see if you actually
Okay.
get anywhere close.
I'm using what dice pool?
You would just roll a d20 and add your dex modifier.
Okay, let's see.
You know, I
Roll
need
a
dice to play D&D, and I'm the DM.
19. My dex is +3,
Okay,
so
yeah.
22.
So, Magnus, you get hit with a pillow, just straight in the chest. Just kind of gently slaps you in the chest and falls to the ground slowly.
How quaint.
I'm just gonna push myself up and roll over to my back on the bed, sit up, put my legs over onto the floor. Oh. Okay.
Are you gonna be like that the entire time we have you around now?
Just give me a minute.
Trinket kind of gets to her feet, gathers a few things, and slowly kind of walks towards you, Magnus, and then slips past you out the door. Just to head downstairs. And Draco, what would you be doing on the roof right now that you are awake?
Sitting.
You'd just be sitting there, just chilling?
Yeah.
Alright, so Draco's Jay chilling on the roof. Is there any RP you guys would like to do before you all get assembled? I'm trying to push both parties to do more RP, but if you don't want to, I'm not forcing anyone.
Crap. Because I'm wondering. No, brain empty. Fucking thought lost. Brain empty. No.
I feel that.
No intelligence whatsoever.
Thanks for pointing me out for the entire week, man.
Nate said that Journey got up, right?
Yeah.
All right. Then Magnus is just gonna look over at Journey again. It's going to be problematic if you keep acting like that.
Like what? Hey, you try being an empty nester, okay? It's hard.
You're sluggish. That makes you a target, and you're already not the most robust.
Hey, there's my pillow over there. She kind of finishes putting on her gear.
Sounds like an actual morning I've had before. Sounds like a legit morning I've had with someone else.
Okay, what'd you say we're supposed to do again?
We are going to steal something from a junkyard. There
That
is a
sounds
creature
fun.
there. Said creature will attempt to kill us.
Just another day in the office. Okay,
Yeah.
let's do it.
All right. Go ahead.
All right.
I will be behind you.
Draco, is there anything that's going to make you go downstairs? Or are you just
I'll let you
chilling?
know if it happens.
You'll let me know? Okay. So you two and Trinket all meet up in the bottom floor, the kind of living area.
Good morning.
Trinket seems to be nibbling on some sort of ration that she kind of pulled from her pack and is just kind of sitting in a corner, just nibbling at it. It's kind of staring into the middle distance. Just a little bit. She seems still to be a little traumatized still from past events.
Well, sure is interesting.
But you
So
guys
much detail.
all gather. Incarus kind of enters the room, and he looks around and just says, "All right. Well, most of you are here. Where's the lizard?"
I'm sure he's on top of things.
I see. Well, I guess you guys can relay the information to him on whatever you've decided, which is why I came in here. So, what is your plan for the day?
We're going to the junkyard.
All right. Well,
Yeah, didn't you give us our plan for the day?
I gave options. It seems
Oh, it was multiple choice. I didn't know that.
your friend here has already selected one. So, if you guys are going to the junkyard, it's on the eastern part of town. It's extremely difficult to miss. When you get in there, the creature. I would recommend sneaking around as much as possible. It may not be too difficult, but uh, if it does spot you, it may be a little hard to kill. Based on past stories that I've heard from the few who have escaped it. And you're going to be looking, when you go, you need to look for a mostly assembled vehicle within the junkyard. Get into the hood and find and he holds a hand out and produces a minor illusion above his hand of this light blue cylindrical kind of shape with a iron rim along the top and then bands that are stretching down it. And he says, you're wanting to look for one of these.
Oh, pretty. What is it?
It is a arcane cell. It's what powers the sand runners, which are the vehicles that we all race in around here. I would just pull one from the sand cruiser if it did power off that, but that uses a different power source that's a little easier to get a hold of. These arcane cells are a bit expensive and prone to explosions if tampered with.
Question. If, it turns out that the creature that lives in the junkyard ends up very slightly dead, would anyone complain?
I don't think at first, but there may be a few who get a little upset. All I know about the creature for sure is it's kind of the reason the junkyard isn't overrun with things.
We also have the choice of attempting to get one of these cells from a different group that's a part of the race.
Junkyard sounds like the less confrontational option. This early in the day, I'm not totally up for confrontation with competitors.
Either way, we'll have to worry about being some semblance of stealthy.
We get Andraka to that, whatever he called it. Get the arcane whatchamajigget out of the thingy-madoob. And if that creature comes upon us, we've got a big, strong Goliath to punch it real hard with a weapon. I guess that's not punching, is it? Do you want to have any tea or anything? Out of it.
I did make a little bit of coffee. Give me a moment. And
Weird.
Icarus kind of heads into the little kitchen space and comes back with a mug.
I'm going to down that stuff immediately.
It's not the best coffee you've ever had. It's far from it. It's actually pretty bad, but it definitely has a kick to it that wakes you up.
It tastes like dung, but it felt amazing. Okay. Junkyard.
Part
Let's
of
do
you
this.
feels like you might have a little bit of sand in your teeth too. All right. He says, well, I guess I'll see you all then when you've succeeded, or not, whenever you're finished with the task. We'll be here, or at least one of us will be, while we're trying to fix what has occurred this morning.
Sounds good, boss man.
He gives you both a nod and kind of heads out back into the garage. Right. You guys are alone within the living area. You with your finished cup of coffee, and Magnus, who is probably just standing somewhere. What would you like to do?
Let's go
Where's
get
the wizard?
Andraka. I thought he's probably on top of things, i.e. the roof.
Us.
So I assume you're heading outside.
Yes.
Okay. You get outside and notice the same things you had seen the day before, the somewhat the transparent dome that seems to be blocking out the sandstorm surrounding the city, which seems to have intensified overnight and is making it extremely difficult for light to get into the city. So it almost seems like it's still nighttime, but you can see the sun barely getting through the sand above. And I assume you probably climb the building too, because you have practically spider climb, right?
Yeah. I mean, it is basically treated as spider climb, so yeah.
Hey, Magnus, do you see him?
Yes.
Kick him off the roof. I'll wake him up. I'll pile up some sand or something.
Magnus just goes over to Andraka and looks at him and just, is it necessary for me to kick you off this roof?
Not really.
Let's go then.
Okay.
All right. You both make your way off the roof. Why am I yawning now? You make your way off the roof, and the party is now assembled. You guys tell the story here. You guys push things, and I will describe.
We definitely need to go to that junkyard because there is nothing else I can think of to do.
Okay.
Let's junkyard first, and if we run into a little trouble with the undescribable horror that dwells there, we can always try picking over one of the other teams.
Maybe the beast will not be such a problem. Then we have a thief in our midst anyway. We'll be able to get it without arousing too much suspicion.
Beef. Fine. Probably.
Trinket gives you the slight nod, seeming to come back into the conversation mentally, like halfway through it.
And Magnus just looks over to Andraka, and it's just, I don't believe I will ever be used to those around me who cannot simply move on from such horrors as what we have already done with.
I'm just gonna stare through him.
All right.
You see, I
Big guy.
dislike you, Lizard, but at least inside that addled mind of yours, there's something similar to what I use.
We've all got ears, right, Magnus? That's
Yes.
something we've all got in common. At least I think
Have
we
I
all do.
ever?
The lizard actually
you have-
doesn't
Have
have
I ever?
ears.
I was like, wait, do you have ears, lizard guy?
If I'm not
Take
mistaken,
that
they're
as a
like they're
no.
just there's hearing like organs, but it's like a hole on the side of their head.
Let's choose to interpret that lack of response as no.
He could have crest that would work like ears, but I don't think he does. But I could be wrong on what his character officially looks like.
Have I ever, in any way, attempted to convey an amount of care for the feeling of others?
No.
Occasionally.
Occasionally.
But not when you think other people are looking.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you are as heartless as you let on.
Whatever you'd like to believe.
Works for me. So, junkyard.
All right, so I'm assuming the entire conversation you guys have been walking, because you guys are trying to make the most of the day, or at least Magnus is. I don't know what the rest of you are trying to do. All right. After about probably an hour and a half of trudging through the city, you do come to the junkyard. These large gates, probably 15 to 20 feet in height, barbed wire wrapping along the top. And you get to the main entrance point of it, which is a small, about 7 foot tall gate that allows entry and exit from this place. It's not locked, and you assume that's because there's a creature inside and not many people come through here because of the creature.
Well, should we try the front door or trinket? Do you have anything else in mind?
She shakes her head, kind of looking over the area, trying to get a feel for how this might go.
You got that bird familiar thing, don't you? Some aerial recon?
I do. And she snaps a finger, and the cat-furred hawk, as I had described it before, appears on her arm before taking off into the air and starting to circle around above the junkyard. And she, for a moment, reaches over and grabs a hold of your arm, Journey, before you watch her eyes go white. And she's kind of stands there for a second before the color comes back. And she just says, he doesn't seem to see anything from up there right now. But he'll let me know if that changes.
The front door will be a good idea.
Oh, yay. Jerry just walks up to it and tries kicking it open.
It easily kicks open. It swings right open. It just loud, just ching, 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 and then it like swings open and slaps against the gate. The whole gate kind of just the whole, shing, 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 whatever the sound is. I haven't heard a fucking barbed fence in forever, or whatever the fuck it's called. Wire
I
fence.
kind of expected more resistance. I'll take it.
Okay.
So, mostly intact vehicle, our employer described, yes?
Yeah.
Roll a perception check. just to kind of get a feel for how well you will be looking around.
Perception check. Dirty 16.
That's pretty good.
I made a 22.
Okay.
It's really good.
The two of you are very vigilant on this place. You do notice this front area seems to be lacking of anything intact. A lot of it is mainly garbage and various things that people have kind of just come into the gate, tossed in, and walked out type deal. Mostly old tools, a few weapons that have been broken beyond repair, rusted swords, daggers, things of that nature, trash, just all kinds of random things piled up around this front area.
Wonderful. Hot garbage.
You do also notice that due to the storm that is kind of built up outside the city, it's a little chillier inside the city than you would have thought as well. Now that you've been walking around, you kind of get that feel. It's for the last few days while you were in the desert, it was this dry, like 100-degree heat. Now that you're in the city, it's probably sitting around 70 degrees within this city right now because of the temperature that had dropped in the night.
Wasn't.
Yeah, it's a nice temperature for most of you, but it's a little colder than you would have expected. Magnus feels nothing because he's cold resistant. He feels fine. But you guys enter into the space, kind of look around. There's several paths you can take, various large mounds of various metal materials and other resources that have been kind of discarded, either deemed unusable or not worth attempting to use. So how would you all like to go about this?
When you say large mounds, are these loose piles or...
They're like loose piles of just random stuff. Some of it like looks to be like intact items that like have been warped in a way that it just was like it was probably less expensive to throw it out and get a new one than it was to try to rebuild it.
You know what? I have an idea. If we can get eyes on this Hulk that we're supposed to be scavenging from, I can teleport and Draka and myself right to it. If you could distract the beast if it's there, then we could get in and out pretty easy.
Trinket kind of gives a nod and looks up towards the hawk, who kind of shifts off deeper into the junkyard to continue getting a look.
At Dimension Door, as long as you can describe it and it's within 500 feet.
While these guys... So you guys are just staying here, right?
Trinket will do whatever she's needed to do. She's just kind of at the moment sent her familiar to go do scouting ahead.
Yeah, because if you're just going to teleport straight to it, you guys don't need to move anywhere in this place anymore.
I mean, well, I can teleport one way because I've only got one 4th level.
Yeah, so like
slot.
until you find it, you don't need to move around anymore.
Right.
All right, then Magnus is gonna go deeper into this place because now he's looking for that beast or whatever.
Be careful.
Okay, so you head off inward, Trinket kind of following some few feet behind you. Are you just walking? Are you trying to be stealthy?
Yeah, I'm just walking.
Okay. She is going to make a stealth check because she is trying to be quiet.
No, wait, no. Trinket would stay with those two because Trinket's doing the bird.
She doesn't have to watch through the bird. The bird will tell her because it's a familiar.
Well, Trinket still has to be with them so she can tell them.
Okay. True. So I guess we would have relayed that. So she's sticking around the area. She's looking around, but she's not going too far. And that is why I rolled that stealth check then. So she's looking around for just kind of stuff around the area, but she's not wandering too far. Okay, Magus. Let's roll another perception check as you dive deeper into this junkyard.
You said perception?
Yes, I said perception.
24.
24.
Oh,
I'm going to make a roll for something real quick to determine some stuff. Okay. You, after about probably 5 minutes or so of walking around, you do start to notice the appearance of vehicle frames. Not all intact, but there are some that are partially intact in places. You also do get you hear the sound of something, the sound of metal getting crushed.
Would it be fair to say that a ration would have some kind of salted meat in it?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna take out some kind of salted meat, and I'm gonna find an area with, like, good sight lines. Like, I'm just gonna look for a spot where if I stay there, if anything comes towards me, I'll see it before it's right on top of me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just take that out, and I'll just take out said fucking meat, and I'll just wait.
All right. Looking around this kind of opened area too, in the direction of the sound, you hear the crushing metal. You see what looks to be a long metallic tail sweeping across the ground as something is kind of head first in one of these garbage or these metal scrap metal piles.
Just
And
metallic tail, nothing slightly, um, organic at all.
based on what you can tell, it looks metal, but you only see the tail.
I'm still gonna wait.
The metal continues getting crushed and everything, and not long after you kind of start sitting there, you do see Trinket's hawk kind of make a circle overhead for a moment before retreating back a little bit. So Trinket turns to you, Journey, once the hawk gets to a certain range, you and Draka, and says, um, "There's something big over near Magnus. Um, it, I couldn't get he couldn't get a great view on it, but it's some four-legged, almost looks like machine, but I'm not 100% sure on what it is.
is it moving?
It seemed to be kind of pressed into one of the scrap metal piles, but that's kind of why I didn't get a good visual of it. There are several vehicles, though, around the point where the creature is.
So where I am in the junkyard, are the piles of scrap metal now like more solid because there's chassis of vehicles in them,
Some
or
of
is
the,
it still
some parts of them are like walls, like a solid wall of like stacked up chassis and stuff, and like these compressed metal kind of bricks that have been kind of pushed together.
perfect?
And they're also parts of them are just these piles that can be easily shifted.
Perfect.
What are you planning?
Let's finish with the other ones before we do that.
So yeah, Trinket tells you that journey. She kind of looks a little nervous about this, and says, "Should should we tell Magnus, or should we go see if he's fine, or I don't. I'm not sure what to do right now."
How far away is Magnus?
He's probably roughly a good, probably 500 feet away. Probably
Okay.
600 feet away, because he disappeared out of sight. You know the exact path he took, but he's a pretty good distance away, and he's far enough away that you can't hear whatever the creature is feeding or whatever it's doing.
Yeah, far enough away that I can't use message.
Yeah.
I say probably ask if her familiar can locate him.
It said it knew where he was.
It said it knew where he was.
Yeah, she
Just
said.
just watch for danger. If he finds the creature and it's not that four-legged thing, that might be a vehicle or might be a creature, and it confirms that it's not the thing, then Androck and I can teleport to where that Hulk is and see if we can find that Arcana battery.
She
So
gives you a nod and kind of looks back towards the familiar, who stops it circling above you guys and heads back deeper into the the junkyard, back towards where Magnus was.
his job literally is distraction. So
All right.
So, looking towards the sound of the metal crunching,
And you can see the sweeping tail.
I'm gonna like move to one of the walls, like walls of metal behind me, and I want to see how tall that is.
You want to get onto the wall?
I just want to know how tall it is for right now.
The wall behind you, or one of the walls near you, is roughly, it's probably 25 feet tall of just metal.
Okay.
And the spot you're kind of in is like this kind of cylindrical kind of meeting point for about 5 or 6 different trails.
Okay.
And the kind of clearing is roughly probably about 40, 45 feet in width, depending on what side you're going to.
Then Magnus is just going to just whistle, just fucking loud, like calling for fucking cattle whistle.
Okay, you make the whistle and you hear a loud crunch before you hear a very foreign sound to you, but it sounds similar to a creature almost grunting in almost a curious manner. It sounds robotic, would be the only way to describe it. Magnus wouldn't know how that's supposed to sound, but it sounds almost robotic. And you see this creature, or whatever this tail belongs to, you see this creature backing up from the pile, and a pair of glowing red eyes turns and looks in your direction, and you are looking at what appears to be a large dragon construct.
is it that four-legged construct that the familiar spotted?
Yes. And it spreads out large metal wings that don't appear to, you don't know if they would be able to fly with them, but it spreads out these large metal rings, and you can see a dark green substance beginning to drip from the maw of this beast, as these drops hit the ground, you can see them sizzling as it slowly begins to move towards you.
What do you eat, big one? Because for right now, Magnus is gonna let it come towards him. But while he's waiting, looking around the scrap, I want to look for any kind of metal, metal object that could that's big enough that it could act as something to effectively shield Magnus's body.
Roll an investigation check. I think it would be with disadvantage because you still have the madness status due to your curse.
Mod 20.
Mod 20. You find what looks to be. You're not sure if it was once a door or something, but it is a long piece of about 2-inch thick metal that you do find. That kind of would work similar to a tall shield.
Alright. I'm gonna just keep that in mind. And I'm just going to... I'm gonna wait for that thing to kind of come into this area I put myself in. Because, like I said, I kind of want it to, I kind of wanted to be in that area where, from the direction I'm expecting, it has to at least, like, approach in some way.
Okay. You see it slowly making its way towards you, kind of arcing itself like that of similar to how a dragon would prowl and hunt a creature. You see within the slightly opened mouth, gears turning and twisting. You can hear the grinding of metal as it and the dripping of some foreign substance from its jaws as it keeps very fixated on you. The eyes actually narrowing as it gets within about 100 feet of you. And it just continues to kind of move towards you, making these odd mechanical growls as it's moving towards you.
Magnus is gonna drop to a knee, and he's just gonna fucking pat the dirt in front of him. Like, the same way you fucking, like, signal anything to a dog.
As it's moving, it almost pauses for a second, tilts ahead to the side, only for a moment before letting out this loud mechanical screech at your in your direction, which Journey and the rest of you can hear from the front of the junkyard. And you, Journey, you hear as you hear the sound go off. You see Trinket's ears kind of fall back a little bit, and she looks almost fearful, and just says, "Oh no."
Has Magnus found the creature?
It would appear to be that way. She's starting to like move along the trail a little bit, trying to get a view for herself while her familiar is flying overhead.
We'll have to close a little distance so I can teleport Andraka and I to where those vehicles were. Now that the Guardian is no longer guarding him.
Yep. So you guys begin to head down the trail. Magnus, this creature is, as it was moving towards you, it gets probably it tries to get within 60 feet of you before.
After it starts, like, after it roared, if it keeps closing distance, Magnus is gonna get up and, like, fucking... The only thing I can equate this to is, like, fucking... If you took a Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie and then 2 times it, as he just, like, fucking attaches himself to the metal wall behind him and scurries up, still looking at this thing.
It lets out the roar, and as it sees you doing this, it begins to charge towards you, closing a very significant bit of the distance as you get to the top of this wall, getting to about 20 feet from you. I think this would be a great time to roll initiative. This is
Also,
combat.
just to understand, the area. Is this the only place with the vehicle chassis in the yard, or
There's like various spots where there are these vehicle chassis. This is kind of the major area where a lot of them are. Not this clearing specifically, but like this general like. You can
Okay,
see
so
like
it's not
2 or
like
3 lanes of like where these.
it's not like there's 100% chance that whatever the others are looking for is gonna be here.
Yeah, there's a chance
Okay.
that they might have to pass it if they go a certain way, but they're
All
not.
right.
They may not have to sit around that spot.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, 21 to initiative.
21 to initiative.
Should we all roll initiative?
I'm gonna say yes because then we can do movement and stuff.
Okay, I got a nat 20 plus 4, so 24.
Oh, Journey is way up there.
7.
Same thing as Trinket. Wow, that's kind of crazy. And then yes. Okay. So we're going. You're probably Journey. You're probably using all of your movement to try to move along these paths.
Yeah. About how far away are we from the dragon's lair? Would you say?
You guys are roughly about. When you heard the roar, you were 500 feet.
Okay, that's the exact limit. So, I guess if trinkets describe the area to me, I should be able to use it.
So with
What's it called?
Dimension Door, you
Dimension
don't have
door.
to be familiar with the spot. You just have to have a general distance. And
Yeah.
you just kind of
It's
pick a spot and hope for the best.
yeah. Okay. Let's see. When you can visualize one, you can describe by staying distance and direction.
Yes.
So
So she could say 500 feet that way, which is you would. So she would have explained where this dragon construct was.
I'll use dimension door and teleport us a certain distance above it.
You could.
Like on
Okay.
top of like some hulks, rather than like down, just so we don't intersect if anything.
Okay.
Why did you send me to find this thing if you're just going to immediately show up to where I am?
No. So they're going to where the creature was. Is what I'm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's
You're
you watch. So are you taking Andraka or Trinket?
Andraka, and I'd say I'd probably say Trinket would need to keep an eye out, but we want to get there while Magnus is leading it away.
Okay.
So if Trinket wants to help Magnus, that's her choice, or if she wants to get there manually and keep a watch for it, that's also her choice.
Okay. So you and Andraka, you're willing, right, Andraka?
Sure.
You and Andraka, you get near Andraka, and you both jump forward. This arcane glow around both of you as you are thrusted forward in space and appear within a lane that looks to have been recently moved through. And as you glance over, you can see the metal dragon construct rushing towards Magnus, who has elevated himself onto a wall of disassembled chassis. I'm going to say that's the end of
Hey.
your turn.
Yeah.
But your next turn
Yep.
you can use to start searching.
Okay.
Magnus, it is you next.
So, did it charge for me before or after I began moving? Because I wasn't planning on trying to lead it to smash into the wall, but if it does, that's just a bonus.
It got 20 feet from you when you got to the top of the wall. Its movement wasn't enough to get to you, so it didn't get to slam into the wall.
I'm gonna go for that piece of metal I found. No, actually, is that large piece of metal deeper into the area with the chassis, or is it deeper into the other parts of
It
the...
would be to your left along one of the lanes, and it's at the bottom of one of the piles.
Okay, so it's not out into the out away from the away from these
Yeah, the dragon came from the lane that they're at and ran towards you, so it's running currently away from them.
So out away, like I'm not even talking about away from them, I'm talking about away from the general area. So like out back towards where it was just piles of scrap metal. How large were those piles of scrap metal?
Some of them get up to probably 70, 80 feet tall. Others are a small little pile that's just wide, that's like 20 feet tall.
I want to go towards those taller piles.
Okay.
So, like, I'm gonna stay on top of this wall of chassis as long as I can, but like, I want to be in between these piles when I get up to them, so I'm gonna jump down and everything like that.
Okay.
But that's the direction I want to go, and I want to get into that area.
So you slide down the backside of uh, this wall of cars, disassembled chassis and stuff, um, and run over to a pile. What is your movement speed?
40.
40. You would have about 10 feet left by the time you reach the bottom of one of these piles, and I'm going to consider it difficult terrain for you because it is a pile of loose metal.
Hmm.
So your movement you will be halved for why you're on this pile, because even though
I'm
you
not trying
have
to
the
get
climbing
on the pile.
ability, oh, you just
I'm not
want to be
trying to
near
get
it.
on it. I'm trying to go
Okay.
like just in the area.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you want to climb these, the ones that are less,
It's like
yeah.
like more. It's more like I want to go past it.
Okay, you want to go behind the mound as far as, or
Not.
down the lane.
Yeah, I'm not trying to hide behind it. I still want this thing to see me. I just want to go past it. I'm
Yeah,
trying to
you're
like.
trying to get it to run after you. Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so are you going to use your action to move as well?
Yeah, and yeah, full dash, and I'm gonna use my bonus action to summon my axe.
Okay, so you get 80 feet away from this thing. About 100. You're about 100 feet away from it now. It is now Trinket's turn, who is going to run, and then she's going to dash, and then she's going to dash again. And gets 90 feet, so she is still a good 3. No, there she was at 500, so she's 410 feet away from any of this right now. And Draka, you are in a lane. You can see the large metal draconic creature running after Magnus, and Journey has teleported you to a new place. What would you like to do?
So we're searching for some arcane piece of
The arcane
a
cell,
car.
yes. Yes.
Would it be would it be magical?
Yes. Because it has arcane energy within it.
Then I will cast detect magic.
What is the range on Detect Magic?
30 feet.
30 feet. So you cast Detect Magic, and in the current spot you are in at the moment, you do not see anything around you.
Okay.
But you have the spell up for 10 minutes as long as I think you focus.
Yes.
So if you would like to move, you do have movement still. And I don't know if you have bonus actions.
Yeah, I'll walk 30 feet towards more significant wreckage.
Okay. Okay. As you walk, you do not notice any magical auras as you are going, but that'll the end of your turn. Next turn, you'll be able to continue searching. It is now the creature's turn, who is going to, in its frustration, going to run around this wall towards Magnus, and is going to get within 20 feet of you as it takes the dash action. And you get a better look at it now of the partially corroded metal frame of this creature's body, as it's rushing towards you, Magnus. It is now Magnus's turn. Our journey's turn again. Sorry. Back to the top of the
What
order.
distance is the metal creature from us now?
I would say probably 200 feet.
Okay, so I am going to use. Let's see. Okay, so I want to use silent image to put up a wall of cars to kind of disguise us while Andraka does his work.
Okay. So you now have a wall of cars that is blocking the view of the dragon from you guys and the dragon from, or you from the dragon.
Yeah,
All
kind
right.
of like whatever path it went down, I'm putting up kind of like a fake wall there. I can do it for up to 10 minutes in concentration.
Yes. All right. So you
So,
now have an illusionary wall. And Magnus, it is your turn.
I'm gonna move away from the dragon 40 feet, and
Okay.
I'm going to fucking lob my axe into, not into, but like through the side of one of these mounds. I wanna try to make it to fall.
Roll an attack. And I'm going to roll a dice to determine how successful it is.
Net 20.
Nat 20. I guess I'll roll this again to see if the percentage is higher. All right. You kind of disrupt the pile, causing a decent amount of the trash to slide between you and this beast. Um, kind of not blocking the way, but producing an obstacle that would further reduce its efforts, uh, or reduce the efficiency of its efforts to get towards you.
Yeah, and then I'm just gonna use my bonus action to summon the axe because I can't move with my bonus.
Mhm. Trinket is going to run 90 feet again, getting within 380 feet of this, or 320 feet of this. And Draka, it's back to you.
Just walking and looking.
Walking and looking. So 60 feet of walking. I will roll 2 percentage checks to see if you find it. As you're looking around, you do start to notice that the chassis that are around here seem to be more and more intact the further you go within this lane. You still have not identified a arcane cell, but you have a feeling you're getting closer. It is now the.
Okay.
What? Or did you say okay?
Okay.
Oh, I thought you said sorry, and I was like, what? What happened? Okay. The dragon is burst through this pile, flinging a lot of this scrap metal around, and it gets within probably 40 feet of you this time. It seems to have lost a little bit of distance, Magnus, but it is now 40 feet away from you and is enraged, based on what you can tell. Journey.
I am going to keep up the illusion,
Yes.
which is a concentration thing. So I think I'm just trying to keep within kind of like a certain range of where I keep that wall, which is like 60 feet.
Okay, so you're just chilling.
Yeah, I mean, I'm moving as far away from it as possible. I can keep the spell up.
Mhm.
Like, I don't want to be right on the other side of it.
Okay. And a note with concentration, you can do other things while concentrating. It's just
So,
you can't cast other concentration spells, or there's certain tasks that you have to be able to focus on that you would drop concentration to do. But
can I do a perception check to see if I?
yes, you could look around. Yes.
Okay, I'll just roll a normal perception check for now. Then, now one.
You are a little distracted by the
Yeah.
loud crashing of metal some distance away.
Fair enough.
It is now back to Magnus.
I'm going to Yeah, I'm gonna move away another 40 feet.
All
And
right.
I'm just gonna try to knock another one of these things. I'm gonna try to knock another one of these piles to put it in the way.
Okay. Aim for the pile. Do that that attack. I mean.
That is a 25.
25. You do knock down some more of the trash pile. Not as much as you did before, but it is a decent amount in the path of this creature who is you notice is physically it's physically shaking with rage, even though it is a construct of some sort. It seems to be very upset with this. Um, Trinket is going to now run another 90 feet, get 230 feet away, because she can only run 90 feet a turn. And Draka, you continue walking. Roll a percentage dice. The percentage is decreasing with each time. You still do not notice anything, but you are getting closer to more and more assembled chassis. The dragon, who is 80 feet from Magnus and is in a rage state, Magnus, you watch as this thing leaps into the air, and the large metal wings that you weren't sure would hold it up off the ground seem to do just that as it hurtles its body towards you. And it is going to make an attempt to bite and claw at you as it moves 80 feet in your direction. What's your armor class again?
17.
17. Both are going to hit. Where are my dice? Where are the dice I need? I need this one. And I need... Yeah, so we'll roll these first. So the first attack is going to hit you for 17 points of piercing damage. And 4 points of acid damage as it bites down onto you. And it is...
I'm gonna use fucking whatever endurance that is and reduce that damage.
And then with the claw attack, it's going to hit you for 10 points of slashing damage. As a claw digs... it has another attack. I'm looking at my stat sheet. It does miss the last attack, though. So it slashes deep into your chest with one of its claws. You are not grappled, though, but you are within fighting range of it.
I was trying to be nice. You know, that's the fucked up part.
But it is
I'm gonna go
now...
into
Once it's
yeah,
your turn, you can do it
not my
under your
turn
rage.
yet.
It
Not
is
my turn.
Journey's turn, who you are a max distance away from your illusionary wall. What are you gonna do? Are you just chilling?
How much time has elapsed, like in universe?
18 seconds.
Damn, I can keep this wall up for a while.
Yeah. A minute is like 10 rounds.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, combat takes forever in our time. In the character's time, it is really quick. You guys haven't had combat longer than a minute.
Maybe I can do an Arcana check to kind of like know what kind of chassis are more likely to have Arcana cells than kind of like others that aren't powered by Arcana.
I'm not going to say Arcana. I will say it would be... You would have to roll a... Actually, you would have no background knowledge in this, considering where you are from. There aren't any of these arcane vehicles. For the most part, the only people that use any kind of arcane vehicle would be military, and they're rarely used.
That'd be pretty difficult.
So you would have to have a specialty in that. And do you have proficiency in history?
Let me check my proficiencies. That's where I have circles around. I don't.
Yeah,
No.
so I would say Journey as a character would not know anything about this. Now, if it was like Calder, he would definitely be able to do a check even with disadvantage because
Okay.
he would be able to find the information if needed.
Okay, I'll just do it. Can I just do a normal perception check again?
Yeah.
Hey, another nat 1. That's hilarious.
You are very distracted by the loud clanking that's happening about 300 feet from you. Behind your illusion that you can barely see through. Magnus, it is now your turn as the dragon has now towering over you.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going into a rage. I'm gonna have a tail, and I'm gonna fucking wail on this thing because I thought I could be nice, but you know, if this is what he's gonna fucking do, I'm just gonna have to be the bad guy. I'm just gonna have to be the bad guy. Let's see here. So that's a 26 to hit.
That hits.
Uh, 26.
26 damage?
No, 26 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Yeah, I did not hear you say that, so I
Oh,
was
I
wondering.
said that. I was just like, did he hear me? Did Discord let him hear me?
Not.
Get him,
No.
boy. Thank.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So 8 slashing damage and 12 psychic damage.
Okay. You 8 slashing, 12. Doing math, it's difficult. Ooh, ooga booga. Okay, you carve into the part of the metal, the weakened metal that's along its neck and chest, um, and you feel the psychic energy leave from your axe, but as you kind of watch it for a moment, the psychic almost doesn't seem to do as much as you thought it would, though the slicing with the axe does.
If it's a non-magical resistance, the axe is magical. So I don't know why the psychic wouldn't be.
You have a guess that it has a resistance to psychic, probably due to it being a construct.
Yeah, that's all right. $25 to hit.
25 to hit. That does hit. I haven't thrown anything at you guys that has a AC higher than 20, so
That's 12 slashing damage and 8 psychic.
okay. Doing some work on this boy, I see. It
Yeah.
lets out this mechanical screech as you strike it a second time.
Yep. I don't have anything for my bonus action, and
'Cause you
when
raged.
it attempts to attack me, it's gonna proc a reaction. So
Okay, give me 1 second to use the bathroom. For some reason, I have to go really bad. For some reason, combat made me have to pee. So you guys talk amongst yourself for a second. Trinket is going to run another 90 feet.
Oh, how's it being the distraction?
I was hoping to be able to leave this thing alive. That's why I kept the whole like getting shit in its way thing. Because like going into a rage and having the tail, that reaction it's gonna proc is going to allow me to roll a d8 and boost my AC by that amount and just have that until my next turn.
If you can identify anything, looks like a critical weak point, might be able to use heat metal on it. I could like fuse its joints if need be.
You see, the tail is really OP one-on-one simply because as long as I roll like cuz I already have 17 AC, rolling a d8 to boost that AC it basically like as long as that d8 isn't good enough roll, it's gonna turn this fight into oh no, scary metal dragon to wow, that Goliath is just wailing on this thing and it can't do anything back.
All right. It's now Draka's turn, who is going to walk, 60 feet Let me roll my percentage dice again. Wow, a 96%. You lucked out this time. You notice atop one of the, kind of amongst a kind of pile of these cars, these chassis, there's a faint arcane glow within. It's roughly, probably about 20 feet up from where you are. You would have to do some climbing, and you have about 10 feet of movement by the time you do notice this.
I'll just stand there.
Okay. So you get in position to stand there and look up at it. It is now back to the dragon's turn, who's going to attempt a bite and 2 claw attacks against you, Magnus.
Okay, so the AC it has to beat now that it's attempted to attack me is a 23.
23. Okay. Well, crazy thing. It rolled exactly a 23 on its first attack. See if the 2 claws do anything. The first claw misses, and the second one misses. So you are simply only going to get bitten by this creature, and it is going to inflict. That is 11 points of piercing damage, reduced to half because of your rage. And you are going to take.
Reduced?
Huh?
Is that 11 already reduced?
No. I'm saying
No.
you need to reduce. Yeah, so it's 5.
Okay.
And you take 3 points of acid damage as the liquid that it seems to be producing burns into your flesh as it bites down and then attempts to swipe at you as you block the claws. It is now Journey's turn. Back to the top of the order with Magnus on deck.
I'm interested to see if I can get a hat trick of nat 1, so I'm gonna roll perception again.
If you roll another nat 1, you need to just go sign up for the lottery. You won't win, but
Okay, I got a 15 plus 2, so 17.
15. You do notice Andraka seems to be staring at one car that is amongst a pile of stuff.
Did you
like
find
various
something?
cars. And he's roughly, probably almost 200 feet away from you.
I forget. Do cantrips disrupt
If it's, I would no,
spell?
because I don't think that there's any such thing as a concentration cantrip.
I'm just going to use the your voice booms up to 3 times. Wait, no, never mind. I'm not going to do it. I don't want it to attract to the scrap dragon back here. So I'm just going to keep up that spell.
Okay. It is now Magnus's turn.
Great. I just... Bad things happen to nice people. I should have just immediately went to kill it. Crit.
Okay. Roll the damage for it now. Just do that.
.12 slashing damage, and I need more d8s. I finally get to roll my pink dice for once. 13 psychic damage.
Okay. I was doing math in my head again. Wow, okay. That was very pretty math that I got out of that. That's very nice. Thank you. Okay. Roll your next attack.
Yeah. Let me get my extra dice again. I crit. Uh, 19 slashing damage.
Okay, 19.
And 13 psychic damage.
Fucking math, bro.
Yeah.
Okay. So you strike this thing and it staggers a slight bit as it looks at you angrily. Trinket runs another 90 feet, some distance away. Reaching about 50 feet away from your illusion that she's now looking around trying to figure out where to go next. And Draka, it is now your turn. You are staring at a slight arcane glow within one of these chassis.
I climb.
Roll an athletics check for me. Or acrobatics, your choice.
Oh, can I switch to acrobatics?
What did you roll?
6
What is your modifier for acrobatics?
plus 4.
So you would have gotten a 9.
Yes.
Okay.
But it would also have been a different number to roll.
I'm not letting you roll the second time, sir. We're just
You-
gonna change your modifier.
You said it after I rolled.
You gotta wait for me to finish talking.
You were like, you can roll athletics. Or acrobatics.
I was doing some thinking and calculating in my head, okay? You do manage to climb up a little bit. You probably only get up to about 10 feet up to another one of the platforms. You could use your action to move more.
Yes.
Sorry for upsetting you, my child.
What do I roll this time, master?
Either or, it's your choice, kid.
7.
7. You get up to a little ledge just below where this chassis is. You would have to climb another 5 feet and then you'd be good. So you're right there next to it, pretty much. It is now back to the dragon's turn. Who, in its frustration,
The AC it has to beat is another 23.
it's not doing AC. You watch as it pulls its head back a little bit and opens its jaws wide as this thick, dark green liquid sprays out in your direction. And I need you to roll a dexterity saving throw for me. As I collect up my... Do I have enough dice for this?
Advantage is awesome. Advantage is awesome. Advantage is godly. Crit.
Okay. Let me make sure I have enough d8s for what I'm doing. Because I have no idea how many d8s I own. Need 3 more. That one is... Oh. Do I have enough? Oh my god, I'm finding out my own limits. I do have enough. Awesome. Alright, so we're going to roll these dice. I really love getting the sound of me rolling a bunch of dice on the table. And... I do... 41. You take 24 points of acid damage as a large just spray of this liquid goes everywhere before you, some of it getting onto you as you try to dodge out of the way.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm going to roll to see if he recharges. Okay. Make a note of that. All right. It is now Journey's turn.
How's Andraka right now? How's he doing?
And Draka is, you watched him climb up one of the walls, and he's looking up towards the car just above him.
Okay. just going to see if I have anything that could possibly help him. How far away is that metal creature?
Still probably about almost 300 feet.
Okay.
They did make a little more distance before. Actually, it's about 250 feet away. Would be the distance.
I'm just wondering if I should put down the wall and cast Enhance Ability on Andraka. But no, that's untouched. I'll keep the wall up.
All right. So you just keep focusing, doing your thing. Magnus, it is now to you.
Can I drink potions on bonus actions?
Yes.
Cool. I'm going to do that.
Okay.
I need these D4s. I hate potions of healing.
Because they don't give shit for health.
Exactly. So I can still reach this thing, right?
It's still standing right before you. It just sprayed acid on you.
Good. I thought when you
It
stated
wielded
that,
its head
into
back,
the air.
not its
Okay.
body.
Yeah, I just had to make sure. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna tear into this fucking thing.
Okay. Do your worst to my beast.
25 to hit.
That does hit.
12 slashing damage and 10 psychic.
All right. It is looking very, very hurt. There's sparks coming out of some of the parts of it. It's tweaking a little bit.
Oh, good. Next hit is a good old 26 to hit.
Okay.
And it's 15 slashing damage and 14 psychic damage.
Okay. There's quite a few sparks coming off this thing, and one of the eyes is flickering. It's kind of twitching its head to one side, but it is still standing.
Okay.
It is now Trinket, who is looking around confused, and I'm going to roll to... Well, she wouldn't know that you cast an illusion. So she...
I mean, the silent image is only a wall that would be in front of Trinket. If Trinket used the bird, that she'd immediately...
Oh, yeah, Yep, I
know where
keep
they
forgetting
were.
she has her familiar out, because I'm running multiple characters in my head right now. So she is going to run towards the silent image and go through it. And then she is going to, once she gets to the other side, just ready her bow, and that's it. And Draka, it is your turn. Roll another acrobatics or athletics check for me, my guy.
Nat 1.
You attempt to climb, and you don't lose any progress. You don't fall from the wall. I'm not going to make you do that, but you kind of slip a little bit, and you knock down. You actually cause one of these chassis to fall down and nearly land on you.
This
But
is your fault.
It's my fault.
You cursed me.
I cursed you. When in doubt, blame the DM for the problems.
Unreasonable.
But you are now standing 5 feet underneath the car from before, in the same spot you were before. So if you'd like to use your action to move, you can.
That's the only thing I can do.
Okay.
$16.
You climb up the second time with ease, and you are now beside this vehicle, and you can see within the opened hood, you can see a partially degraded motor and a slight arcane blue glow within that you'll be able to try to retrieve in your next turn. It is now to the dragon. who is tweaking out because it is malfunctioning. And it is going to attempt to bite and claw at you once again, Magnus.
Hold on. Let me roll for this then. He has to beat a 25 AC now.
Okay, the bite does hit again. Its modifier is quite good. It misses the first claw attack, and it lands the second claw attack on you. So you are going to take, from the bite attack, you take 11 points of piercing damage, which reduces to 5 because of your raging. And you are going to take 7 points of acid damage. And then for the claw attack, which I need these dice, you are going to take a whopping 3 points, that is reduced, of slashing. Because I rolled snake eyes with the claw attack. Holy shit, it is not doing well. And it is now Journey's turn. Trinket is now standing beside you, confused
Hey,
and
Trinket.
winded. She just kind of turns to you and says, What's going on?
Well, I think Andraka's close to getting the arcane cell. How's Magnus doing?
I can check in a minute. Actually, I can check now, I think. No, it's not her turn yet, so she can't move her familiar yet. So the familiar's just kind of been hovering above you. But yes, you are now standing beside Trinket, and she says, I can check in a moment.
Okay, I'm gonna keep up the illusion then.
All right, Magnus, it is time for you to do your thing.
I'm gonna use my bonus action to down a different potion.
All right.
It's fucking no
What?
use in fighting this thing if I die before the end of it. Little potion of greater healing.
All right.
I hate trying to pick up D4s.
Just slam your hand down on them. You're bound to pick them up. It's like picking up glass. Just slam your hand on it. You're bound to pick it all up.
Uh-huh. All right. I'm going to ruin this thing's existence.
Okay.
You know what I just noticed?
What?
I haven't been adding the bonus damage I get for being in a rage.
I think it's like 4 points, isn't it?
No, it's like 2, but like that's but that's every single time I attacked. So, you know, my brain. Let's see here. 22 to hit.
That does hit.
Okay. $14 slashing damage and 10 psychic damage.
How do you want to do this?
Because this entire fight has been close quarters, and I feel like it has basically been in a pile of trash. So Magnus would just shove a metal piece of scrap metal into the thing's mouth to keep its mouth open. He just uses his fucking axe to chop down into its mouth to separate the top of its head from the rest of its body.
Okay. In a very gruesome scene, if it was made of flesh, you disassemble this creature's skull, which nobody else sees, just you. And as you knock the head off of the body, various sparks flying about, the jaw twitching for a moment as the eyes struggle to stay lit and focused. And
is there any specific name you'd like to give this thing before I put the top half of its skull in my backpack?
It is a junkyard dragon construct. That's it. This thing was made to be in a junkyard. And the skull itself, though, is roughly, because of the size of this thing, about probably 2 feet in width, about 3 feet in length. It's a
Yeah,
very
I'm
big thing.
confused.
This thing probably weighs, on its own, probably about I'd say 150 pounds.
Just the top half of its face?
The top half, if it was just without the lower jaw, it'd probably be 100 pounds.
Hmm. I mean, I am considered a large creature when carrying items.
Yeah, I'm stating this as in, like, you got to think about your backpack. This thing's gonna take up a lot of backpack room.
Oh, yeah, if you're saying I can fit it in with everything I
You
already
could
have.
probably, I would say, if you used your rope, you could tie it to the side of your back. It's probably the best bet.
Of course I'm gonna fucking do that. Yeah, definitely. Fuck yeah.
Okay, so you have tied the part of a junkyard dragon construct skull, which is really just the mechanical head of this thing, to your bag. You are now out of combat. The others, Andraka, if you would like to roll a,
Ooh.
let's go with a Arcana check to attempt to figure out how to remove this thing.
18.
18. You have a pretty good idea. Your time messing with various mechanical things and arcane things has taught you well. And now I'll have you roll a. Do you want to do this quickly? Or are you going to take like extreme amount of time? How do you want to go about this?
Does it have a chance to blow up?
Yes. Based on that
I
Arcana
will-
check, you know that this thing could go off.
Take a 20.
I will take my time.
Roll a. Let's say a sleight of hand check to try to be as delicate as possible with this.
Nat 1.
Well, because you are taking your time, it doesn't go off.
Goddamn half
But
roll.
it does slide a little deeper than it was originally in its holding. So I need you to roll another sleight of hand check.
This dice is, it's stupid.
It's
It two half rolls.
You do get your hand on it again, but it doesn't slide any deeper this time. But you do have your hand on it. Is still within the motor.
13.
You over a long period of time. So the others have the time to regroup around this moment. It takes you probably a good 5 to 10 minutes to delicately drag this thing from its holding. But you now have in your possession an arcane cell. And
How big is one of these things' talons?
the claws itself?
Yeah, like just a single talon.
Probably roughly 5 to 6 inches.
So big enough to hold and throw like a javelin.
They're like dagger sizes, like knife
Wait,
sizes.
so how big is this thing in general?
The actual form, its full size, it was probably roughly close to almost 15 feet in height, with a probably roughly 40-50 foot wingspan.
Was there a spike on its tail?
The tail itself seemed to come to a kind of rounded point, and it was kind of just random pieces of scrap metal extruding off of it.
Okay, then the half of the skull is the only thing I cared about.
This thing, now that you're getting a better look at it, now that it's disassembled, looks to have just kind of been thrown together with scrap metal to then dispose of scrap metal.
In the heat of the battle, Magnus was definitely thinking, this is great. But now that it's done and he sees what it actually is, it's just like, this was as boring as everything else I've dealt with.
Like this
Trying to
thing,
say, like,
there was
It's like, how did
ingenuity definitely
people-
put into this, and Magnus would be able to identify like that. And it was definitely like we didn't. Whoever made this creature, they didn't have many resources nearby. They used exactly what they had, and they made a killing machine.
Journey would walk up to it and say, Magnus, before you go disassembling it, maybe we could have our new allies repair this and we could use it as a mount.
Why would we drag the entire body? I've already taken a trophy.
I don't mean drag it. I mean, they could come here after the race and perhaps repair this for us. We are down a
Why?
sand speeder after all.
Hmm.
And this
You
thing
can tell
is
them
quite
about it,
capable. Yeah.
but I'm keeping the skull.
Fair enough. They have to build a new one probably. Are there any tarps or anything around here?
No, this is a scrap metal yard.
People don't keep
I mean,
things tarped up.
this thing is like me and this thing were fighting like between the taller mounds of scrap. It's not like anybody would immediately fucking see this thing.
No, yeah, there's a chance that this thing could get picked off of really quickly, but it depends on how quickly people come into the scrapyard. Which you have no idea if you drew any attention in this fight because you haven't seen anyone else within the scrapyard. But you do all manage to regroup. Arcane cell in hand. What do you all wish to do now that you have acquired the thing that you were looking for?
Well, I'm gonna slice my palm as we go out the door and smear bloody handprint on the gate. So makes it like people less likely to come in.
Roll a d4.
I mean, you did cut
Wait.
yourself, so
Yeah. Here. Nat 1.
You take 1 point of damage. Because you're
Okay.
cutting yourself with a dagger. I just wanted to roll something for you cutting yourself. Like, it's not going to be much damage, but it's going to be a little bit.
Yeah, and then I smear like a bloody handprint on the thing. So it's like a beware.
All right, so you cut yourself and smear blood. What's everyone's passive perception, real quick? I'm just wondering.
My passive
And-
perception is 12.
16.
16. Trinket has a 19, I know. Okay. You guys are heading back to the house?
Will the arcane cell blow up in my bag of holding?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna shove it in my robe pocket.
Wait, why did you ask the question?
Because that's where it is.
You're. Oh, right. That's right. I forgot that you put your bag of holding in your pocket. Okay, yeah. So as you all are walking, Magnus, you do notice along the way, Trinket keeps kind of glancing behind her, and after a while, you do begin to notice that there's someone who keeps making a reappearance behind you some distance away. And this individual looks to be dressed in very nice, this very nice, heavy plated armor, wearing a cloak over top of it that does very little to hide it. They seem to be eyeing your little group as you guys walk, and they kind of pursue at a distance.
Magnus just looks down to Trinket, just separate from the group, get behind them.
And one more note too is you do notice, glancing back, they don't seem to be carrying any weapons. Or at least you don't see any weapons on them. All they have is this very large, this golden shield with various jewels and runes upon the front of it that they are keeping strapped to their left arm as they're walking. Though, as once you guys get into a position that the individual doesn't have a direct line of sight on you for a moment, I need to double check that this is right. Oh my god, could Trinket have learned new spells and I hadn't updated her goddamn list? Yeah, that's exactly what I did. I'm forgot my character could do things, but she would have learned this spell. So yes, so she turns invisible because she would have learned invisibility. I wanted to double check that she had that. So she vanishes from sight and disappears, and kind of, you don't exactly know exactly where she went because she's a rogue. She's really good at disappearing when she's invisible.
And Magnus just looks to the group. We're going to take an alleyway back.
Okay, so you guys, as you're going through, you find an alleyway. It's not hard.
Yeah.
This is a city. There are plenty of alleyways.
Halfway down the alleyway, Magnus is going to just stop and turn around.
You turn around and look back. The individual does make a reappearance and stops some distance away. You can see from underneath the cloak this white puff of cold air coming from this individual who's keeping the hood up to kind of conceal their face. And they just kind of stand there for a moment. They don't say anything or do anything. They just stand there and stare in your direction with these very intense frost blue eyes.
Name?
You hear a deep growl come from this individual as they reach for their left arm, and you watch as what looks to be a tattoo along their left arm begins to glow, and they seem to draw a scimitar from their flesh. This glowing white scimitar.
I want to take the skull off of my bag, and I want to just fully strap it to my left arm to set it up like a shield.
Okay. And this individual simply growls. He says, "You should know exactly who I am." As he readies his scimitar and his shield.
Then what's your damn problem?
That you're still breathing. And he begins to take a step forward.
Just axe out this fucking dragon skull as a shield. I'm immediately going to go into a rage and bring out the tail. Actually, with a shield, that means my armor is 18.
I wouldn't say this would give you any buffs, mainly because it's not a conventional shield. And it is big, it's just not I'm not gonna say it's a shield, just because it is makeshift at the moment. And if you were possibly fighting,
what kind of buff would this give me? Because with Goliath traits, it's not weighing me down.
No, I that's kind of what I'm going with. It's not anything to do with your race or anything. It's the object itself. Your blade went through this. It's a scrap metal skull. It's mainly it would be for the. It's more of a cosmetic effect of like, if he misses an attack, you use the skull as a shield to block it type deal, right now. Because it isn't a big enough to be a conventional shield, and it's not strong enough to be a conventional shield.
If I took it to a blacksmith, would they be able to retrofit it? Because there are a fair few amount of
I would
shields
say
that
if you were to put money into this thing, you could probably make this into a shield.
Yeah,
It's
because a
just
fair
in its
few
current state, it's dinged up, banged up, and it's not
Mm.
much for protection.
a fair few amount of useful shields were ones that were more shaped to an arm instead of just a full-on bulwark.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But so you strap this thing to your arm for story elements, and you watch as he's walking towards you, an obsidian outline that looks exactly like him appears by his side and is
I'm
walking next to him.
if it's only for story elements, fuck the skull. I don't want it. I don't want
Okay,
it
then never
on
mind.
me
You
right
were
now.
just ready. You rage,
Yeah,
make the
if
tail.
it's only for story elements, no, I want two weapon fighting. Fuck off. Two-handed weapon fighting.
Okay. I'm gonna say roll initiative. Anyone else who wants to partake in combat also roll initiative, but goddamn.
Overall,
18.
16 plus 4, so 20.
Wow, Journey's
21.
getting up in the world. And Draka, even more so. So it's Andraka, then it's Journey, then it's Magnus, and then it's Trinket.
I request that the bard focuses on healing.
So the individual who is in front of you is going first. Him and his echo approach you, Magnus, both wielding scimitars, and he is going to attempt to strike you with this white blade that he has produced.
So does AC matter for this?
AC does matter for this.
Okay, then that means 20, it's 24 AC.
24. So he is going to... as his bonus action, as he is walking towards you, you watch as he strikes this blade. He has a ring on his left hand that he strikes across the blade, and you watch as blue bolts of electricity begin to start arcing through this blade. And he is going to attempt to, which that's one of his charges on his ring. He is going to attempt to, so with his first strike, he does hit. And he is going to do, that is 13 points of slashing damage, reduced to half, so 6. He's going to do 3 points of force damage. And I got to double check the thing for this. He is also going to do 3 points of lightning damage as he strikes you with his first swing of his blade. And he, I want to double check that I'm right, is going to attempt 2 more strikes on you. That one is a 25. So he's going to attempt once again to do damage. I'm just going to roll this first one on here. So 5 points of slashing, 4 points of force, and 7 points of lightning damage as he strikes you the second time. And the third strike is going to miss.
Okay.
As you seem to be ready for his third strike. Oh, and as the final act of his turn, his echo is also going to attempt to strike on you. But it misses. And that is his turn as he stands before you. The hood falling as he strikes you the first time, and you see a white dragonborn standing before you in this very nice alloy armor of sorts.
What kind of alloy?
Roll a let's say roll a I would say Arcana is a good one you could do, or probably History would probably be the other one.
Literally the same for me. It's a 7.
7.
I hate that like it has the dice you roll actually hit like the walls of your screen because I was so close to like a 16.
You know this is some special armor. This isn't your typical plate mail.
But it is
Plate
metal.
Armor. It is metal.
Right?
It is a metal armor of sorts, yes.
Good enough for me.
It is now Journey's. No, Andraka's turn. Sorry, Andraka's turn.
Fucked it real good.
If you have anything that'll lower, that'll make it more difficult for him to pass any checks of strength, do it.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Andraka. No, I still need you to heal me, Nate.
I don't think I do.
Then just hurt him. Like,
Okay, I'm going to maneuver to where I don't hit Magnus, and I'm going to Burning Hands him and his echo thing.
Okay. So he has to roll a save for that.
Dex.
Is there
Save.
damage if he does get it out of the way?
It's half on a success.
Okay. And what is the DC
15.
that he has to 15? Oh. Roll your damage so I can get the half damage. His echo
13
does
damage.
13 damage.
I hope you're not talking anymore. My headphones died.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Let me double check something while he is attempting to recharge his headphones.
So if he passes, it's half 13 fire damage.
Yep. Okay, so he does pass. His echo automatically seems to disintegrate in its spot where it was standing. And he is going to take 6 points of fire damage. And it is now Journey's turn.
How bad you hurt, Magnus?
I'm at 14 health.
He fought.
Yeah,
he fought a dragon.
I walked out of the junkyard with half health.
I'm gonna cast Healing Word at the 3rd level.
Don't you have Cure Wounds?
Your wounds?
Yeah, Cure Wounds.
What do I look like? The healer that we just lost? No, I don't.
He wasn't a healer.
Yeah, that's true, but still, I just was like thinking about that. I was like, I thought most bards carry Cure Wounds. But
Heal
that's
13 wounds.
Cool. I mean, because that warlock wasn't a healer. He was the equivalent of Jared in my campaign.
Yeah.
So yeah, heal 13 wounds.
All right. Is there a bonus action you can take, or?
Let me check my bonus actions quickly. Oh, wait, no. Healing Word is a bonus action. It takes
then you
casting
have
time is 1 bonus action.
Yeah, you have an action that you can take.
I just realized that. I think that's the first time I ever actually looked at the cast.
I forgot a lot of the healing spell. A lot of healing spells are actually bonus actions.
I'm so fucking stupid. How many sessions are we in? Heat metal. How far away is big guy?
What level spell is heat level?
Does that reduce his strength? Does that make it harder for him to win tests of strength?
I would say it's gonna do fire damage to him. It's not gonna make it hard for him to.
Nate. Nate, we have a rogue behind him. Anything that fucks up his ability to fight a grapple check right now.
Here, let me check.
Because I think.
Okay, test of strength. So
I
We
think
can
with
boil him later.
I think with spells, if you cast a healing spell, you have to use a cantrip if you want to cast another spell as like your action.
okay, hey. Vicious Mockery, which is a cantrip, would give, if he fails, that means he would just have disadvantage on the next attack roll he makes.
What does he have to roll for that?
It would be a wisdom saving throw.
What is the save? DC?
That's a wisdom save.
Yeah, what
And
is the
it's
DC?
16.
16.
16.
It does. It
Well,
seems to have little effect on him.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
Or maybe I'm looking at. I'm actually. No, yeah. It's still. It didn't have. It has little effect on him. He has the same. He has the same wisdom stat as Trinket. That was weird. That's
They
awesome.
must. Okay. So it succeeded.
Yeah. So he succeeded. So he is not affected by your thing. Magnus.
okay. Well, yeah, there should be a fucking rogue behind him. So I'm actually gonna try to grapple him.
Okay. Roll an athletics check for me, and he will make a contested one.
I crit.
He also crit.
Cool.
What is your athletics?
It's a +8. I'm also raging, so that good old advantage and stuff.
I will let you roll again, and I will have him roll again, and we'll see which one's greater. Giving you benefit of the doubt here.
26.
Okay, you attempt to grapple him, and he shoves you back and keeps you from getting a hold of him.
Yeah, okay, I'm just gonna introduce him to a fucking axe.
Alright, roll that attack.
$27 to hit.
That hits. Roll damage.
16 slashing, 8 psychic damage.
You said 8 slashing?
No, 16,
Oh, 16
slashing,
slashing.
8 psychic damage.
Psychic damage. Okay. You strike him, slipping your axe between two of the plates of the armor that he is wearing. He hisses in pain, and he glares at you.
Do you really want to waste my time with this?
It's not a waste of time if you're dead when this is over. And Trinket makes a reappearance behind him. But she gets advantage because she is flanking him. And because she gets advantage, I'm going to end up rolling crits because that's how that's how shit works for some reason. And she is going to take her rapier and attempt to jab him in the back with the rapier. She's going to do 14... 19 points of piercing damage with extra 14, so 25 points of damage as she stabs him in the back. And he hisses in pain and looks back in her general direction, irritated. And she is then going to take a second attack with the rapier as her bonus action, which is a 25 will hit. She will roll damage for that, and she will do 13 more points of damage to him. It is now his turn, and once I finish doing math, I'll be able to do his turn. There we go. Him, in his rage, is going to produce another echo as his bonus action, which is going to move. No, he's not going to move. he is going to then take a step away from you, Magnus, and try to move around Trinket. And you do get an
He's
attack
trying.
of...
Is he? Yeah, I was about
Yeah,
to
I was going to
ask
say, you
that.
get an attack of opportunity on him.
22 to hit.
That does hit. And he is going to do a vengeful assault as a reaction to your reaction.
Does that go against my AC?
It does.
Okay, 25 then. And let's see here. Now I have to math the damage. But it's a 25 AC now.
Okay.
17 slashing damage, 11 psychic damage.
All right. Math is difficult. All right. So you strike him. He strikes you as well and inflicts. That's 7 points of slashing. So 3 points of slashing damage for you. 8 points of force and 8 points of lightning damage as he strikes you, and then is going to move to the other side of Trinket. And he takes a deep breath inward before releasing a breath of cold air over all of you, and you all need to roll a con saving throw for me. Every single one of you.
Suck.
That includes Trinket.
16. But no, 14. Because I have a -1 modifier.
23.
Nat 20.
Wow, 2 of you saved. So Andraka and Magnus both saved from the breath attack. While everyone else is going to take 12 points of cold damage. You two take 6, which Magnus only takes 3 because he's resistant to cold.
I'm going to use my Hellish Rebuke.
How far does Hellish Rebuke work for?
Let's find out.
He is
60 feet.
60 feet. So yeah, that does work. So roll.
Using it at the second level.
I think you roll your damage, and he takes half damage if it misses. I think I need to double check. Yeah, take half as much upon a successful dodge. So
he's going to take 10.
So 10. You 10. So he does succeed. He has very high dex. So he's going to
10
take.
if he passes.
Yeah. So it's 10 points if he passes. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah. So he.
Yeah, half is okay. Wait. So yeah, half as much damage as a when you fail.
Yeah. So he.
So
Wait. What did you roll? You rolled a 20. So yeah, 10 points of damage. Yeah, I got that right. Awesome. So you strike him with this flaming energy of retaliation against him as he kind of throws a hand up a little bit, and his echo is going to
flame on.
As his ability Unleash Incarnation is going to attempt to strike at Trinket with his ability, which does hit Trinket and is going to do. Roll this. That's 9 points of slashing, 6 points of force, and 2 points of lightning. 9, 6, 8, 17. She is going to take 17 points of total damage, and she is bloodied. It is now Andraka's turn.
How close is he to me?
Like 15-ish feet.
How? So how does movement work? So if I do an action, I can still move, right?
Yeah, you can use like part of your movement, use an action, and then use the rest of your movement.
Okay. I'm gonna cast True Strike on him,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna use my Hungry Jaws for a bonus bite attack.
Wow.
12 to hit.
Wait, who did you cast True Strike on?
The man.
Dragonborn.
Isn't True Strike?
You point a finger at a target in range. Your magic grants you a brief insight on the target's defenses. On your next turn, you gain advantage on your first attack roll against the target, provided that the spell hasn't ended. So you do get advantage on your bite.
Next to turn.
Oh, it's next turn. Okay, yeah. So
that's what you're doing. Okay.
when you bite at him, he just kind of throws up his shield, and you strike metal with teeth. You hear a loud clank as his jaws hit the shield, and he is kind of pushed backwards a little bit. It is now Journey's turn.
5
Well,
health.
you have 5 health.
Yes.
You keep on. I could roast this guy, but you keep on just getting hurt.
Healing spells or bonus action.
That's true. Here, I'm gonna cast heat metal on him.
As a warning, if you do cast heat metal, you can't use a healing spell because it is a higher than a cantrip, I think.
Heat metal. He does. It's not a save or anything. It just happens.
Yeah.
It's 3d8s of damage, and I can keep on doing it as a bonus action for each turn up to 1 minute.
Wait, you're casting it at a higher level than the second?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 3rd level.
So roll that 3d8. You won't be able to use a healing spell if you do use it, though. Because you can use a healing spell and then a cantrip. Is how the action economy for that goes.
Yeah.
Is that how you're stating it, or is that how you recall it from the player handbook?
This is how I've seen it done and how I've done it in the past. And I'm pretty sure it's the same way in the player handbook.
I guess that makes sense. I am casting a concentration spell.
Yeah, it's either you can do this and that would be your turn, or you would do the bonus action to heal and then cast like Vicious Mockery or something. It's how a lot of sorcerers and stuff play too. Clerics are played.
What do you think, Magnus? Using my healing, would I be able to get you up high enough to even survive another hit?
I mean, if you boost my health, I'll be dead by next turn. But if you boost my health, there's the chance of not being dead by next turn.
What do you think I should do? Because he is an ice dragon, born. So
Whatever it is, it's going to have more health than we can take out in a single turn.
fuck it. I'm gonna roll heat metal 3rd level.
Okay, roll the damage. Because he is wearing armor. He can't get away from it.
12. There's no save or anything. It just happens.
If wearing or holding the object, you make Constitution saving throw or drop. Oh, drop it if you can. If it can't drop, you get disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks until your next turn.
Oh, no one's mentioned that.
I didn't even know about that.
It's in the description. I just read it.
So yeah, and I can just keep on doing it. Like it's a concentration spell for like 1 minute, and it's like 1 minute, it's 5 turns. So I can keep on re-upping that as a bonus action. So 3d8s of damage each turn.
Wow. So roll that 3d8 damage.
Didn't I just roll it? On 12.
Okay, 12 damage. All right. 12 points of damage. You watch as his armor heats up and starts sizzling around him, and he hisses in pain, but kind of tanks it as much as he can. It's now Magnus's turn.
I'm gonna try to grapple him again.
Remember, the metal is burning.
Okay.
Oh,
As
Never mind.
yeah.
No, because yeah, the fucking heat metal. I was like, oh yeah, fucking disadvantage on ability checks. And it's like, oh wait, heat metal. No, I'm just gonna fucking slam him.
Come on and slam.
So to get to him, you will prox an attack of opportunity with his echo.
Oh,
His
I'll
echo
slam
is
the echo
yeah,
first.
yeah. His echo is in front of you.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it's fucking echo. I don't give a shit about an echo. I'll just rip it to pieces. So 18 to hit.
that does not hit. The echo blocks your attack as you swing at it, strafing your axe to one side.
How far away is this guy?
Roughly from you is probably roughly about 10. No, it'd be just outside of 10 feet.
Oh,
And the
Yeah.
echo is like directly in front of you. It's kind of blocking the way. He set the echo up to buffer himself.
26 to hit this echo then.
That does hit. You don't need to roll damage for it. You disintegrate the echo as you slice through it.
Good.
And you get a
Bonus
feeling
action,
it
I'm
would
gonna-
scream if it could, but it just disappears.
With this bonus action, I'm gonna use my last healing potion.
Okay. So you drink your healing potion. It is now Trinket's turn, who is going to check her inventory, realize she doesn't have anything that she can do with that, and she is going to cast Magic Missile at the 2nd level, which, if I'm remembering correctly, cast 4 missiles. Yes, 4 missiles. So, where's my d4? Roll my d4. She does 12. No, not 12. She does 16 points of force damage against the individual, I believe. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, she does 12 points of damage. I had to double check some of his items. I had to make sure that he wasn't immune to magic missile. All right, it's now back to his turn. He looks over the little motley crew that stands before him, and he is going to summon another echo, because he can do this as many times as he wants to every turn if needed as a bonus action. He is then going to strike at Trinket, standing before him, which is going to hit. He is going to do... I don't even need to roll anymore. He downs Trinket. As he strikes his blade across her back, and she lets out a cry and crumbles to the ground in front of him. He is then going to send his echo forward to make a strike at Magnus.
Okay, let's do the AC thing. 22.
22. His echo does manage to hit you, as it is going to do... you take 3 points of slashing damage, which has been halved, 4 points of force, and that's it. And 4 points of force.
Okay.
Because the echo is not charged with electricity. And it's going to make another attack on you as an attempt, which is also going to hit, and you are going to take 3 points of slashing damage and 6 of force.
I'm down.
You're down. So Magnus drops unconscious before you guys as the Dragonborn seems to grin at the sight of this. But he does not move. Andraka, it is now your turn.
Okay, let's see if this risk pays off. I am going to use my sharpshooter skill.
Okay.
So that would be 16 and then a 21 to hit.
You do hit.
Okay.
Roll damage.
Fun. That's 28 damage.
28 points of damage as you fire this thunderous projectile into the chest of this dragonborn, causing him to stagger a little bit as it singes his already burning armor. Journey.
Okay, I am going to shoot him with my crossbow.
Okay.
Roll my to hit. That's 25 to hit.
That hits.
6 damage.
6 damage.
And then a bonus action, I'm going to re-up my heat metal.
Okay.
So that's 17 damage.
17 points of fire damage. He is bloodied by this point. He's looking a little. He's got serious wear and tear on him now as he's standing there, hunched over a little bit from the damage you've caused against him. And he's blood dripping from his mouth and growling. Magnus, I need you to roll a death saving throw. Trinket,
Pass.
that's a pass. All right, Trinket does the same. That's a fail for Trinket. It is now back to his turn, who's debating on what he should do. Let's see. He is going to. What would this character do? Because I want to play true to this, but I don't want to be super fucking mean for no reason.
Yeah. I mean, let's be real. Androck and I are probably engaging him at maximum distance.
You guys are next to Magnus. You both are standing next to unconscious Magnus on the ground.
No,
Oh,
because
yeah.
I would have stopped and they would have just kept walking. It's not like I told this guy about them beforehand.
Yeah,
So they would
no,
have
they were
gotten up and-
relatively close to you. They're like within 5 feet of you, like they're around you. Because Andraka moved to take a shot, so to use the burning hand without hitting you.
If you guys
So.
deal with any echoes near me and you bring me up before my next turn, I can rage, use my bite, and try to heal with some attacks. Won't do as much damage, but it'll heal me each time I hit.
He is going to. I figured out what he's going to do. He is going to send his echo forward to try to strike at you, Journey. Which, knowing your AC, that would hit, and you take 12 points of slashing damage and 1 point of force damage.
So 15 damage.
And
Okay,
the echo is then
3
going
health
to
left.
also turn to Andraka, and it's going to attempt to strike him as well. Andraka, what's your armor?
17.
17. He hits you for, that's 13 points of slashing and 2 points of force.
Your turn, did you keep heat metal going?
Yeah, it did burn him. That's how he got bloodied. He sent the echo forward. He's standing back. He's letting the echo do the work. And the echo is going to make one more swipe at Andraka, which does miss. It is now back to Andraka's turn.
How close is he to the echo?
The echo and him, they're probably about 10, 15-ish feet apart. Probably more 10.
All right, I can burning hand both of them.
You do risk burning Trinket. Because she is between them on the ground.
Will
She's
I
straight
kill?
down. She's on the ground, though. I mean, if
Burning
these two are
hands
standing,
Burning Hands is a cone, though, so it would technically hit her.
Yeah,
you'd still
but you
be able to
know,
compensate.
I'm
Aim up.
on
Exactly.
height level, and she's on the ground. See, the arc of the cone.
You're not thinking about this in you're not thinking about
No,
this in
I'm
three
thinking
dimensions.
about this, and I'm thinking about how it would work. It doesn't have to necessarily go over her to accidentally hurt her. Like, the flames don't actually have to hit her, they just have to be close. It's like shooting a flamethrower. You're going to get burned if you are in the flames and next to the flames. But you do what you want. Anything goes.
Will I kill her if I hit her?
There's a chance.
Fine. I'll just shoot the man again.
Okay.
Simply shoot the man.
21.
That hits. Roll damage.
14.
14 points of damage. You strike him in the chest, and he grunts in pain as he staggers backwards a little bit. Growls, blood dripping from his maw.
I hate this guy enough that if you ever greet us with a white-born, they will have to leave immediately before I murder them, because he should right fucking like a dragon.
It is now
My turn now, right?
Journey's turn.
Okay. Crossbow. Only a 13. So I'm guessing I miss.
That misses. He blocks it with
Okay.
his shield.
Bonus action time. I'm going to cast Healing Words at the 2nd level.
Okay.
At Magnus.
All right.
So he is going to heal for 10 points.
So Magnus is back on his feet. It's now
We
Magnus'
need you.
turn.
I am going to rage again.
Rage Shadow Legends.
I mean, for this thing to have attacked Journey,
It's standing right next. It's standing next to you. Because Journey's not far from you, but like it's close enough to you that it is in range to hit you.
Is it considered a creature?
Yes. Well, yes and no. I don't know how to explain it. It is a target, and it counts as a creature in the sense of attacks of opportunity and things of that nature. It is not a creature in the sense of the description of it. So some spells don't affect it. No, some spells don't affect it if they don't affect objects. If that makes sense. Echoes are complicated. Echoes are, based on what I've read up and talked with people about, they're counted as objects, but they in some cases they are technically creatures.
Then I'm going for the Dragonborn and hoping I can make it.
It is going to take an attack of opportunity against you. What is your AC?
17.
17. It does get a hit. Let's see what the damage is. And because you're raging, that is 4 points of slashing and 3 points of force damage. I think that's just under what you have. So you are still on your feet.
Then I'm going to attack the actual Dragonborn.
Okay.
Crit.
All right. Roll.
Okay.
Actually, roll regular damage. His armor makes him immune to crits.
I actively hate that kind of shit.
Intimidation.
15 piercing damage, and if there's anything to do with resistance to non-magical, that is ignored with my natural weapons, because this is a bite attack. so that I can fucking heal even a little bit.
Okay. You strike him, and he lets out this feral roar of pain. And
All right,
he attempts to push you off of him.
Oh, I'm doing it again. I don't fuck this guy.
That's the spirit.
26 to hit.
26. That does hit as well.
That's 10 piercing damage. And I get to heal just a little bit more.
Okay.
And unless I can try to grapple on my bonus action, that's it.
Man is no longer burning.
Yeah.
And
I can say you can make the attempt.
Yeah, because I am to him. So it's not like I'm too far.
But he is very bloodied.
Good. 26.
You do manage to grapple him. You get a hold of his arm.
This
and
is
kinda lock
full.
in.
This is full feral monster. There are distended fangs so long they are just out of Magnus's mouth no matter how much he closes his jaw. And he's just fucking 300 pounds of muscle just dropping onto this guy.
And Trinket is going to roll a death saving throw and succeed for her first one. And then it's back to the Dragonborn, who looks at you, blood dripping from his mouth. And you
I want to
watch
put the fear of God in this motherfucker.
you watch as he drops the sword and it disappears from his hand. And he reaches into a pouch on his side and pulls out a small crystal with an arcane rune floating within it.
I have a reaction. Could I, by any chance, because there is a lot of flailing and grappling in this, by any chance would that reaction be enough to even half-heartedly try to smack that out of his hand?
I would say with disadvantage because he's gripping the shit out of this.
Strength? Athletics, maybe?
Sure. Because he's also going to make an athletics check.
Crit.
What is it with your modifier?
28.
28. Okay. Because so I'm gonna state this. The way I've learned with ability scores, crits mean a lot, and they give you a little bit of a buff, but they don't always mean instant success. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a 28.
You hit his hand, and for a moment he fumbles this crystal before squeezing it in his grip, and it shatters. And he looks at you and says, "Until next time."
I'll rip your fucking
And
throat
then
out!
he vanishes and is gone. And you are grappling air. You are now out of combat.
I'd like to roll healing word at the second level for Trinket.
Okay. Roll that health.
She regains 10.
10 health. You hear Trinket let out a gasp of air before panting heavily, being down for probably the 7th time this adventure, and is slowly going to get to her feet, kind of shaking off whatever just happened while she was unconscious. You all look around the space. Is there anything you would like to do now that the combat is over?
I have to update my notes. My horse died.
Yeah, your horse has been dead since like the day you guys left.
It's because I never noticed because like I finally had to update my notes.
Oh, because you now have something that you need to keep in mind.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I think because of your affinity for dragonborns, this might be a little difficult for you story-wise.
No, I have made so many plans, and thinking about this, thinking about the Dragonborn, now that you are taking a moment to take in the situation that had just occurred, you've come to realize that you've seen this Dragonborn before. It's the same Dragonborn from the vision you had when you were knocked unconscious in the Ravaged Queen's lair by the gas. That memory of being discharged from your ship. The Dragonborn who shouted the words fire as you were ex- you were sent flying into the water.
I think he'd say ice instead.
Okay. But you all regather yourselves, check your injuries and whatnot, and slowly make your way back to the home of Incarus and his mechanic, uh, Zimmel. Upon entering the front area, you see him standing within the kitchen space, seems to be preparing something. Uh, some sort of meat, it smells like, and he glances back and he says, "Oh my, you all look a bit rough."
Can you make a shield out of a dead body?
Um,
And Magnus just pulls out the skull. Less of a body.
I possibly know somebody that would be able to help you with that.
He just
Rest.
he just puts the skull at his feet and hands him 200 gold. And then he goes to the room.
All
Rest
right.
of the creature is otherwise intact. Perhaps you could modify it into a mount.
Was this the guardian of the junkyard?
Former guardian, yes.
He slowly picks up the upper half of the skull, and a little bit of issue, mainly because he's, as you can tell, he's not much of a strong arm kind of individual. Um, he's quite scrawny, which is normal for wizards, obviously. But he kind of looks it over and just says, "Some sort of dragon construct." I will have to. I will definitely have to take Zimmel there. We'll take a look at it. Um, did you get a hold of the arcane cell?
Yes, the quiet one has it.
He kind of looks. He kind of looks towards Andraka.
I stare at him.
So do you have it on you?
I stare at him.
Well, this doesn't seem to be getting anywhere.
Magnus just stops at the stairs and give him the fucking cell.
I turn as slow as I can to face Magnus.
All right.
And I
Do
slowly pull the cell out of my bag.
Incarus steps forward and holds a hand out towards you to kind of hand it to him, not wanting to just take it from you.
I slowly turn back towards him.
Okay.
And I slowly put it in his hand.
He takes it and he looks it over and says, "Well, this is a very good find. This is in better condition than most that I've managed to retrieve from the junkyard. This will do nicely. Food will be ready soon. Uh, if you all would like to just rest after whatever endeavors you have all been through today, it seems that it was well deserved." And he quickly heads off into the garage for a moment and comes back in with the cell probably left with Zimmel and returns back to the kitchen space. Um, what will all of you wish to do now that? And
Long
by this
rest.
point, it's about probably a little after noon. You guys were out for a
Long
few
rest.
hours. Yeah.
Long rest. Fucking just fuck off.
Yeah, we're almost dead, I think.
That's I 1v1 a fucking dragon, and then you throw that shit at me.
Double dragon, literally.
Fuck you.
All a part of the plan. I knew you could do it. I wouldn't throw anything at you guys that would just kill all of you. Even
Long
though it
rest
looked
time.
like it got close, it was part of the plan.
Mhm.
So you
So
all rest within the space. Trinket finding one of the old chairs within the room, kind of curling up into a ball and passing out after kind of patching her own wounds up a little bit, trying to stop some of the bleeding.
the long resting. That's
You
nice.
you all rest through the rest of the day.
Heat metal turned out pretty well.
Yeah, that spell did a lot more than I thought it did.
A lot
And
more than I thought it did.
you all enjoy the rest of your day, or I think you enjoy the rest of your day, relaxing within the spaces. He and Zimmel work on the dune racer or the sand racer. I can't remember what I specifically called them. They have a name, and I'm blanking out on it because I don't look at the name all that
Like
much.
It's just called a dune cruiser.
It's a dune racer. So the cars are dune racers because they actually have wheels. The cruiser, it was more of like, you know, the rotary boats they have in like Florida.
Yeah, fan boats.
Yeah, fan boat. Yeah, it's like one of those, but it's just floating about a few feet off the ground. But they continue doing their work. You all rest, regain your strength, patch yourselves up, take the time to lick your wounds as you recover from a very fatal day, or what could have been a very fatal day. And I'm going to give you guys a choice. If you guys have anything you guys want to do in the city for tonight, we will do it now. If there's nothing else, we can end the session here.
Potion seller.
Potion seller. Yes, we can do that. That is easy. And I will say you will get that shield. It'll just be a standard shield, but it'll be the custom design of the dragon.
It's
head.
fucking dragon skull,
Yeah.
man.
It's plus 2 to AC. It's it'd be like a plus 2 to AC. We'll give you more statistics on it. I might give it like 1 or 2 buffs.
But you know what might be fun?
Huh?
What if it has a kind of like a acid reservoir in it?
Actually, I will say it would give you resistance to acid damage if you're using the shield, because
like maybe
the creature was immune to acid.
Like maybe because it shoots acid, like the creature did. Maybe like a certain amount of times before it needs to be refilled. Magnus, like there's a button on it, so it can kind of like coat whatever weapon hit it in like acid to kind of like melt it.
It's not the head that produced the acid; it was the actual body. It had a pipe that ran from the core of it to the head, and it sprayed it out. It's not like a snake. How the snakes have the venom in their head with them, like the venom sac. It's more of in the body type deal.
That
but
makes sense.
you would get with that armor or that thing, which you would get probably. You wouldn't have it immediately, but by the next session you would have it. It would give you a plus 2 to AC and acid resistance if you are wielding the shield at the time.
Okay. Resistance to acid when equipped. Okay.
Yep, and I can make that a homebrew item at some point. Which I'll take a note real quick to do.
I'm doing that right now.
Oh, you're going into the homebrew thing? Then I won't do it. You got it. It's all you, man. Awesome. I might have to steal that from you at some point.
No, because I can't set it up to actually put that up on the stuff. I can just state that I can just customize it with notes.
Oh, I will make a legit homebrew then at some point. So
I mean, you can just pull it from my inventory when after I make it and rename it.
Yeah, I'm making a note for myself to make it a homebrew eventually, because it's a really cool item now, and it's another thing I'm going to add to the list of things that we made for this campaign, for the hopes or possible dreams that if this was to become like something popular and we somehow made a guidebook or like a legit book with this, I have all these homebrews made and all of these creatures and all of these items. Plus, I could just use them for our personal. It's our personal list anyway, so it's like special things that I have for the future. Fun stuff. But you want to find a potion shop. Does anyone else have any kind of shopping they wish to do right now?
Magic shop.
Magic shop. All right, and I'm going to write a note real quick on what day of the zenith it is, because I do need to make a note on what day you'll be on next time. Okay. So Magnus wants magic, or not magic shop, potion shop. And Draco wants magic. Does Journey want anything? Does Journey want anything from Taco Bell? No, I'm just kidding. Take that as a no for now, mainly because I think they're AFK at the moment. All right.
Yeah, I don't need to buy anything.
Okay, you don't have anything, and Trinket is gonna take a cat nap. All right. What kind of potions are you looking for specifically, Magnus?
Healing greater or more.
Greater or more. Do I have the notes on that? Give me a second. I had notes on something, and I'm trying to remember where I put said notes. Because it is a reference on how much I'm supposed to charge you on things. Because I don't remember the pricing for certain types of things. Because I'm bad. Oh my god, I have all the pricing for everything else but the thing I'm looking for. I can find this. Okay, so you spend some time. And I cannot fucking type worth a shit right now. There we go. Perfect. You spend some time looking around. You find a potion shop though that seems to be run by a drow individual who is selling he's selling 2 greater healing potions together for about 450. About 6 healing potions, 55 gold apiece, and 1 superior potion for roughly 2,100 gold, because it is one of his rarer potions.
All right. Actually, before I do that, before I go with healing potions, I want to find a herbalism kit.
A herbalism kit. That will be much cheaper. Making a note on something real quick. Healing herbalism kit is going to run you. I want to say it's a couple silver pieces, but I need to double check for this place. Herb. Oh no, it's not a couple of silver pieces. It's a lot more expensive. You can find one for about 7 gold pieces.
I'll pay that.
All right. You've acquired a herbalism kit, which I do not believe you have proficiency in.
No. I will. I'm doing things right now, so other people should do their stuff while I do this.
Okay. And Draka, what kind of magical items are you looking for, my guy?
Well, I need an arcane focus.
Oh yes, for your yes. So you can find an arcane focus. Looking around, you do find there's a couple of magic shops around here. For a arcane focus, you can get there's a variety. Are you wanting a crystal, an orb, a rod, a staff? You probably don't want a staff. Um, what are you wanting specifically?
A crystal.
Crystal. You do doing some looking around. You do find one for about 12 gold pieces that someone is selling. It is a black arcane crystal of sorts with a sort of reddish glow on the inside.
Crystal.
But
Okay.
you now have an arcane focus. Is there anything else that you are looking for specifically, or are you just kind of perusing?
Oh no. They have any cool magic items?
I knew you were going to say that, and I'm currently pulling up my list of things. Um,
Oh, if he's looking at magic items, because that's what I was going to look at next.
well, I guess you will join. You would have joined him at some point. Um, looking around, you do. You find a lot of common enchanted rings, uh, things of that nature. You do also find a couple of odd or unique magical items. Going through one shop, they appear to have a lot of various jeweled enchantments, as well as things like sort of uh, they're these goggles that give you night vision or dark vision. Um, they have a ring that looks to be made of a this black fabric with these little bristles extruding from it, and the label underneath it is the Ring of Velcro. Um, you also looking around. I'm actually like scrolling through a list and like determining which items are actually here. Um, you find a whip that resembles that of uh, a squid's tentacle. And you also find what looks to be what can only be described as a surfboard. Kind of looking around. These are like the big kind of special items that you do find. Any thoughts?
Useless.
Useless.
Still doing brain.
I'm trying to think of what else that there is possibly. Um, is there? Well, I've already asked you this. Like, you don't have anything specific that you're looking for.
Well, you see, since I've memorized every single magic item in D&D.
No, you just got to give me like a general thing. I have a lot of them stored up in this noggin, and if you gave me a general thing that you might be looking for, I could point you in the right goddamn direction.
No, just I don't know.
Anything to boost dexterity.
There is a ring of evasion.
Does that boost the dexterity stat?
It gives you an instant. It gives you up to 3 instant saves on a dex saving throw throughout a day.
It's fucking useless.
remember some of the other items that I had on this list. It's a very long list of things. There are various boots as well that various boots and bracers. There's one pair of bracers they're selling for roughly 1,500 gold that go by the name the Bracers of Defense. I'm not giving that item as an idea right now. There's also what looks to be a few cloaks that seem to be magical in some places as well. One place is selling about 3 different cloaks of protection for roughly 450 gold pieces for each of them. There's a cloak of elven kind that is available as well for about 325.
Are there any magical instruments?
Magical instruments. Let us see.
Yes. I already have the boots of elven kind.
Apparently, I can't seem to type anything right. They do. I don't own this book. I didn't realize I didn't own that book. Makes me sad. You do find within the shop, one of the shops, you do find 2 what look to be enchanted lutes, each with various arcane runes running along the rims of them.
What do they do?
One of them is called a lute of illusion.
Illusion.
It's not in a.
And the other one is a lute of scribing.
What's a loot of scribing do?
Upon talking to the individual, so this, I'm going to just say it in game terms. It has 3 charges that allows you to, upon spending a charge while playing it, you can write a magical message on a non-magical object or surface within 30 feet of you that you can see, and the message can be up to 6 words long in a language you know. As a bard, though, you get an additional 7 words, so it's 11 words, and can choose to make the message glow faintly, allowing it to be seen in non-magical darkness.
It's a bit situational. What's the illusion?
The illusion one allows you to produce an illusion within 15-foot radius of you while playing the instrument. Generally, it's simple effects like dancing butterflies, luminous musical notes, gentle
I think
snowfall.
my thaumaturgy and my silent image probably outpower that. So I'll go for the scribing one because that sounds insanely situational. But there's always going to be a situation.
The guy is offering to give it to you for 70 gold pieces.
I'll do that. 70 gold.
All right. You hand over the gold. I think you can look this item up. If you can't, I can do it for you.
Okay, manage inventory, add items. Loot.
You put instrument of scribe. Actually, I'll just add it for you because I'm already right here. So if you refresh your thing, it's now added to your inventory.
Thank you.
Because it is a Xanathar's Guide item, and I only own Xanathar's. So, is there anything else that you all want to do within the day that you guys have of doing this stuff?
Still looking at things. Where the hell is it? There's supposed to be shit about the herbalism kit being used to make healing potion.
You need proficiency to make healing potions with it. It does say it on the herbalism kit.
Even then, Xanathars would say that you can do it.
I looked at it like when I was looking at it on D&D and Beyond. It just says it as like it's the last note is like last note. Also, proficiency with this kit is required to create antitoxins and any healing potion.
Shit. How am I gonna
You could get proficiency. There are ways to get it.
Alright. That's all I want to do.
Okay. Well, if that is everything for tonight, we will wrap up the session, and we will continue in 2 weeks when I will have more extensive notes and won't be winging 99% of the session because I just could not think of anything for 2 weeks because I was sick. So we hope you guys enjoyed this adventure so far. Whether it's this party's adventure or the other party's adventure, we don't care as long as you're enjoying. At least I don't care. But if you guys want to catch us in the next stream, make sure to follow us on Twitch. Hit that notification button or turn on notifications button so that you get updates whenever we do go live. Join the Twitch, or not the Twitch, the Twitter. Follow us on Twitter for updates specifically on when we're streaming, the link, interacting with us on Twitter about magical items, D&D related questions, things of that nature. Or join the Discord where we talk to each other and sometimes other people if anyone else talks in the server, which is very slim, but if we get more people in the server and more people talk, well, I'll be happy, and I will be happy to talk to the audience. And if you guys want to catch previous episodes, go check out that YouTube page that is listed below. And everything is nicely organized just for you guys, so you guys can catch up to on previous episodes and make it easy to get caught up for the next stream. And as always, we hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace.